Yeah. What's going on, y'all? We're back. Welcome to another episode of the Three Pete Podcast. I am your co-host, Jones, and as always, we got my other co-host, Trav. What's going on, Trav?
What's good? What's good? What's good? Now we the two peak. We just the back to back.
Yeah. We're doing a two-peat this week, but we'll be back to a three-peat next week with Nat. Nat probably somewhere hiding because her Celtics is scared of them Knicks coming up next week. But we'll get into that when she get here. Um, we don't have an injury report for you guys today, but let's get right into our MVP. All right, Trav. So far, we got a few games going on that's very interesting. We got four games going on. Very interesting. Who is your MVP of this week?
Well, I would say I gotta give it to Joker and Denver. I mean, everybody just shoveled the dirt on them. Like they was done. You know what I'm saying? This after losing back to back games at home in the first two games, and what do they go do? Respond how champions respond and go into Minnesota and win both games pretty handily. Joker
Yeah.
was the man. He struggled the first two games, but kind of figured things out, especially game four at 35, 7 and 7. So
Yep.
for me, I think that I got to give it to Denver because they were beyond the most pressure. Because when was the last time a champion from the previous year got swept? It was 2007 when Miami Heat with D Wade and Shaq and them got swept. Way back then. So I think they was under the most pressure. So they responded, and like I said, I think now they're gonna probably win the series.
That's a big switch right there. Did you have what was your original? No, I think you had Wolves in seven, right?
No, I had Denver. I had
Oh, you
Denver
had
in
Denver in
six.
seven and six.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had Denver in six, which my prediction was terrible the first two games. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, so I always had Denver. I didn't think anybody could beat them if they played the A game.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I gotta agree. It's got to be Denver because after those first two games, I was like, this team don't look like they got any chance with these young boys. Any chance? I think I gave them one game. Originally I had Wolves in seven. After
Right.
those first two games, I was like, this might just be done in five because they just look unmatched. I'll give Nuggets at least one game just because they're champions and they ain't gonna go out like that. But I don't know if these young boys get up 3-1, it's over. And
Mm.
sure enough, Nuggets got back in their bag. Murray started playing better. Joker's doing what he always do, and then you got your others stepping up at the right time. So it's got to be
Mhm.
the Nuggets, and more importantly, Aaron Gordon and Porter. I think those two guys are the most important guys, the X factors for the Nuggets, because you know what you're going to get from Joker, you know what you're going to get from Murray. But if you can slow those others down, which is Porter and Gordon, you got a good
Mhm.
shot. But when those two go off and they do what they do, Gordon filling up the stats, getting you 15 points, 12 boards, and a couple assists, and then Porter hitting every big three that he needs to hit. Like, those are the guys, those are the X factors for the Nuggets, and they step up every time when needed. It could be one night it's Gordon, one night Porter, one night it's all of them. Like,
Mhm.
you got your hands full. I'm still going with the Wolves in seven, but I'm very I'm not surprised, but I thought the Wolves were gonna keep their foot on the Nuggets' neck and not let them get a shot. And now you let the champs taste blood. That's a tough battle. Now you got yourselves a real battle. You got yourselves a real battle. So I agree with you. It's definitely the Nuggets.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I just thought that like the Nuggets. This is what I thought the series would be like the first two games. I just thought the
Right.
Nuggets were champions. The Wolves are trying to figure it out. Like I said, I mean, the Wolves are tremendous defensive team. It was the #1 defensive team in the league all year. Obviously, got the defensive player of the year 4 times. But I just felt like at times, besides Anthony Edwards, they struggle to score. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, the first 2 games, had like 25, 27, whatever. And then what happens? Then what happens at home? Especially game 4, he goes 5 for 19. They can't.
Yep.
They will not win if Edwards. They can let Denver is basically like we're going to let Edwards score 50.
Exactly.
And stop everybody else, and that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They basically saying Edwards can get off, and we're going to slow down everybody else. And like I said, Karl Anthony Towns 5 for 19. Everybody else did nothing. Edwards. Edwards had 44. It's just it's starting to turn into like they call him the Jordan. It's starting to be like Jordan because it's like Jordan scored a lot of points, and the Bulls never beat the Pistons or the Celtics. So, it's starting to look like that.
Absolutely, I agree, and that's if I'm the Nuggets, that's what you should do. You let him do him, and you stop everybody else. I mean, that's the smart way of doing it. So, their game plan is starting to work. And it's going to be interesting. I think this series is still going to go 7. I got the Wolves winning this next game at home, and then Nuggets going back home.
It's in Denver. So you got them winning in Denver?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I got the opposite. I got Denver winning this game at home, and then Nuggets winning at home. And it goes back to Denver for game 7. Wolves pull it out. Which will be tough because it'll be in Denver. But game 7, I'm going with Edwards. I think he gets up for that game. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling he gets up for that. But you're absolutely right about Anthony Towns. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns. That's been my issue with him throughout his career is inconsistency. We know what he can do, but does he do it when they need him to do it? And he hasn't always been consistent and starting to show again. So if they're gonna win this series, he's got to be consistent throughout, absolutely throughout. He can't just be here and there.
I don't think he. I mean, I think it's gonna be. I think Denver wins and then Denver closes it out in Minnesota. I think they win it in 6. I think Karl Anthony Towns will get if they lose, especially if they lose, he gets traded.
I can see that. I can see that definitely.
I don't know where. Maybe the Knicks. Maybe the Knicks for Julius Randle. Maybe somewhere else. Maybe Golden State. I don't know. But I think if they lose, especially 4 straight after being up 2-0, I think he gets traded.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's definitely if they lose 4 straight. Oh, that'll be real.
They gave up too much to trade Gobert. They did not trade him. So.
Yeah.
Out of those 2 big, and they already signed Naz Reid and not get rid of him.
Yep.
So
if someone's gonna go, it's gonna be him.
It's gonna be Towns.
Yep. 1000%. Now we can get into the team that they're playing, winning their leader, his 3rd MVP. What is your thoughts on the Joker winning his 3rd MVP in 4 years?
The funny thing about that is like he's kind of like LeBron, like he's in his peak time right now. Remember LeBron won 4 MVPs in 5 years. You really should have won 5 in a row. They gave 1 out of anger to Derrick Rose, even though LeBron had a better overall year. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Derrick Rose's team won 1 more games, but LeBron averaged 26, 8 and 8 or something like that. Derrick Rose averaged 21, 8 and 5.
Yep.
And like really, LeBron minimum he should have 5. He should have won 5 in a row. Now, I definitely feel like LeBron, like, Joker's in that phase. Like, really, last year when Embiid won it, it was more like, I can't let Joker win 4 in a row.
Yep.
And, like I said, don't get me wrong, Embiid was doing his thing and averaging 35, whatever. But I think last year was more like the anti-Joker vote. You know, I think this year he's if he wins another championship and obviously this MVP, I've said this to many people. Like he puts himself, he jumps. He was number 27 for me, like top 20 whatever when we did our list.
Mm-hmm.
Number 27. He will jump all the way to number 11. He will jump
Mm.
16 spots. He will go over Durant, over Curry, over Giannis, over Moses Malone, over Akeem Olajuwon. He will go over all of them because he would have had two championships, two probably finals MVPs, and three
Yep.
MVPs.
Yeah.
You got to put him in like, I can't necessarily put him over Duncan yet.
Right.
But let's just say they win another championship and he wins another Finals MVP. He might be top 10 all time.
Absolutely.
He's
Absolutely. It's
putting
hard to
himself
argue that.
in. He's already the greatest European player ever. That's not even questioned no more. But
Yeah.
now he can put himself like top. These next 2 years will determine if he wins, if he goes in like a top 10 player all time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
I think
yeah.
with those numbers that you just said, MVPs and all that, it'll be very hard to take him out, keep him out of the top 10 if he keeps winning MVPs and championships. Like that'll be really hard because there's all those other greats haven't done that. Just
Yeah.
haven't done that.
Yeah.
For me, I feel my personal vote would have went to Shea. I was very impressed with what he was able to do with that young team. I'm not mad at Joker getting it. Um, I just feel they kind of. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I'm not a voter or anything like that. I feel like they part of the reason outside of just his stats, they gave it to him because of last year. He should have won last year. They gave it to Embiid, so they felt bad, and they gave it to him this year.
Look, here's what's
um,
going to happen next year. Shea Gilgeous will probably win it next year because Shea's going
yep,
to do his thing. God forbid he gets hurt or anything, but let's say he does the same thing he does this year. He will win it next year
he
because
will
they
win it.
they think he should have won it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's
yeah,
always something like that. They always feel
yeah,
bad. They felt for
they
Embiid bad the year before that. So
yeah, yeah. And I
it's
think
always the
that
same shit.
it's yeah. Like you remember, Embiid was like, "I'm always a runner up" because he was runner up 2 years in a row. The
Yep.
Joker, and then they finally gave it to him last year. Then obviously, he's been hurt this year. And so next year, like I said, everybody feels bad for Shea. So if he's in the mix, he will be. I think he'll probably in their first place or second place, he'll probably win MVP next year, just
Yep.
because of
I
like
agree.
the sympathy vote.
Yep. There
Uh,
you go. The sympathy vote. Yep.
yeah, big on. I mean, look, Russell Westbrook. Don't get me wrong, obviously averaged a triple double, but like they gave it him the MVP because Durant left him.
Yep. Exactly.
You know
1000%.
what I'm saying?
If
Yeah,
he didn't
Durant
do
left
that,
him
he wouldn't have gotten that vote.
exactly. And
I agree
so for me,
1000%.
yeah, for me, like I said, like Joker is putting himself, these next, like I said, 2 years, put himself into some real company, like some
Yep.
real company. If he can win, if they can pull it out, win this year, win next, what I'm saying, these next 2 years, they three-peat or something, but let's focus on the repeat. They
Yeah.
repeat. He goes all the way to number 11.
Yep.
And if they three-peat, he jumps over Duncan, maybe
Yep.
even over Kobe at
Yeah.
at 9 for me. And like he's right there with Shaq,
Yeah.
like at number 8.
Yeah.
So
He puts himself in great conversation
some
if he does
serious,
that.
I'm telling you, like these Joker don't even know it. Like he puts himself in some serious company. You know what I'm saying? Some serious company, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So now playoffs are still going. So let's get right into the
Playoffs?
playoffs.
Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me?
You shitting me? So now let's get right into a series that's happening right now. Boston and Cleveland happening as we speak. Boston's up pretty handily right now. Without Donovan Mitchell, is Cleveland. Um, and that series is 2-1. What is your thoughts on this series so far?
Boston always gets bored, because the East is so weak. They get bored.
Mhm.
And that's why they lost at home. They were a double-digit favorite, just won by like 20, and ended up losing by dang near 30 at home.
Yeah, weird.
Like it's a weird. They get bored and like they're up and down. So they don't have. Tatum is a great individual talent, but he's not necessarily a dog.
Right, right.
So
I agree.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel about Tatum. I think he's a great, great player, but he's not a dog. So it's like the whole situation with that goes, with him and with everything that goes with that. I just think that like they get bored in the East, so
Hmm.
they'll lose a game by 20 at home to a team they have no business losing to. This should have
Yep,
been a sweep.
yep,
They're like they'll win it in 5, obviously, but like this should have been an easy sweep. But Boston, they play with their food.
yep.
Period.
I agree 100%. I expected them to at least lose one game. I thought it would be away, but no, they lost one at home. They got smacked, and I agree. I think it's just they get bored. They get bored. The first round they had Miami without Jimmy Butler, so they didn't take that series, got them out of there, and then they're doing the same thing with Cleveland. They know Cleveland has no business even being in the same court with them, even without Porzingis on the court. So they know they have it. But I agree with you as well with the Jason Tatum comment as far as him being a dog. A lot of people thought he was going to be that next Kobe kind of guy that had that Kobe mentality because that's all he talked about. And Kobe, even propped him up as well. But it's not him. Like he doesn't have that same killer instinct that Kobe did. That same dog in him, like Ant Edwards does. That's why people are giving Ant Edwards his flowers and propping him up to be the next face of the league because he definitely got that dog, and he only
No, he
22
do.
years old.
He do.
Yeah,
He
so
definitely do. That's the difference between. And I mean, if you want to like, Ant Edwards he will be the face over Tatum because of
oh
what he is. You know what I'm saying? Like Tatum
absolutely,
is maybe more like a Dominique type, like great player, but maybe necessarily like not the dog that Jordan was. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And that's what you know, Ant Edwards is. He just don't got the team. He don't have the team to do it.
yep. No,
And
I agree with that.
like it's great. As great as Ant Edwards, the great as Ant Edwards, will be. I think he's going to get better.
Oh yeah,
Where like Tatum, he's like, Tatum is a great player, but I'm nervous that might be the best Tatum is going to be. You
mm,
know,
I agree. I agree because what is he 27 now 28 something like
he's
that.
about 26, 27. I mean, he could have, like he's been in the league for like 8, 9 years. It's not like he's been in the
Right,
league for 4.
exactly,
You know,
exactly. So I thought he would have took that leap to another level by then because when we saw him in his rookie year, second year, those first 3 years, we're like, oh no, this kid's gonna be something. He might be the face of the league in a few years, But it
yeah,
seems like he kind of leveled out, and it's kind of peaking. Yeah,
yeah.
So
I'm
that's
saying
where
yeah.
absolutely. So I
And
definitely agree with you on that.
if they don't win it, if Boston don't win it this year, right? This year, if they don't
Blow it up
dethrone Denver, I don't know if they might keep getting there. Because think about it, he's been getting to the Eastern Conference Finals since his rookie year.
every year.
You know what I'm saying? He's been getting there Boston been Eastern Conference Finals like 6 straight years or 5 straight years.
Something
The
crazy.
only time they didn't go was the year they had Kyrie.
Yep.
So I just letting people know, man, like they've been winning, man. And the issue with that is like, is this it? Like, can Tatum get to another level? I don't know. You know, that's the thing.
Exactly.
We know
I
Ant
mean,
is going to.
oh
We know
yeah,
Ant is. But Tatum, I don't know. This 28. Don't get me wrong. With his level of that, he's great. 28 a
right.
game.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They win a lot of games. First place in the East. First or second, probably first and second team All NBA. Like that's great. But in
Yep.
order to win a championship, man, like if you look over the
Yeah.
last whatever 5 years, every championship team, has an all-time great.
Mm-hmm.
Joker last year, Golden State, Steph Curry, Milwaukee, Giannis, Lakers, LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Uh, even Kawhi with
Mm-hmm. Toronto.
Toronto. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to have an all-time great. It's
Yep.
very few teams like a Detroit. They don't have an all-time great that wins it.
Right.
So you got to have all like if he wants to, if they want to win it, you got to, you got to be all-time great to win it.
Yep. You got to do it, and that's what I've been trying to tell Nat about her Celtics is that we've seen this Celtics team do this already. We've seen them get there before, but we haven't seen
Mm-hmm.
them get over it. We haven't seen them get over that hill. So until I see that, Nat, I ain't gonna believe it. Nat, I'm sorry. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. So, um, the East is weak. Even though I'm a Knicks fan and we in the East, I have to admit the East is much weaker than the West. It just is. It's been that way for a long time. Not saying that the East is horrible, but it ain't on the same level as the West. The West
Well, I
competes
mean, this
every
year a lot
year.
of people hurt. Embiid hurt,
Right.
Giannis, Dame. And don't get me wrong. I think the Knicks is going to make a move in the summer. I think they're going to do a trade. They're going to trade
For
some
sure.
pieces. They're going to get a big piece.
For
I,
sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see the big Kevin Durant in the Knicks
He might.
uniform finally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kevin Durant or I don't think Donovan Mitchell kind of works. It doesn't really work.
We don't want him
But
anymore.
yeah, or maybe Cat for Randall. You know what I'm saying? Like I was
I
saying.
wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't
But
mind that.
yeah, so I think they're going to make they've kind of done the smart way, and now next year they're going to go like a big move. I think re-sign Anunoby, and then like trade a little bit of the pieces for that
Right.
big piece. Maybe a
Ooh,
sign and trade for Paul George or something.
my light went out. Hold up. Sorry.
No
But
problem.
yeah, I agree. Speaking of my Knicks, as I get my light back on that just went out. What just happened?
There you
Let's
go.
get into the Knicks series. So, series tied 2-2 after the Knicks were winning the series 2-0. Pacers at home got the W. Both home games. First game at home won by 5, and then yesterday's game got smacked. What are your thoughts on this Knicks and Pacers series?
Wait, let's just call Knicks the mash unit. Because I mean, you lose your starting center. Mitchell. He's just had surgery today, I think.
Be quiet, Coop. Talking about how
Yeah,
about them Pacers?
look, I think I think the Knicks is doing the best they can. I mean, when they lost Anunoby, I was like, oh
Oh
yeah,
man.
it's a problem because he's their glue. Um, and you think about the last two games, Josh Hart has came back to the earth,
Mm-hmm.
with 10 points and 2 points, and he might do great this tomorrow, but they're just a mash unit, and the problem is. As great as Coach's Tibbs is, he runs you to the ground, and this is what
Sure does.
happens when you play 5 guys 48 minutes.
Yep.
Like that. If I have any criticism on Tibbs, he will never win a championship because you can't win a championship with 5 guys. This ain't the '60s.
Exactly.
You have to
Exactly.
use your bench. Like you can't not use your bench against a team like Indiana. Indiana's a
Yeah.
track
Oh,
meet,
exactly.
and so to me, you know. They were going, the fact that they're just wearing down, player by player. That's the issue. I don't see them winning the series because the longer the series goes, the more tired they're going to be. But maybe Brunson can kind of like pull a Bernard King and win Game 5, scoring 70. Lose Game 6 and then win Game 7, scoring 50.
Yep. No, I'm with you. I hear you. Tibbs, I don't understand. I mean, well, let me say, you're absolutely right as far as what you said as far as him running our team into the ground. That's been a concern of mine throughout the season because he's not only done this throughout the playoffs, he's been doing this throughout the season, the regular season. Why are you not playing your bench during the regular season, Tibbs? Come on, man. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. But I will give him credit as far as he did give our bench a shot these last 2 games. And Alex Burke has been playing well. Got 20 for us last game. Another 15 the game before that. So we found somebody that can come off the bench and help us.
Wow, you have a guy off the bench. I mean,
I
who
know,
knew?
Right? Who knew? Who fucking knew? And it took us getting smacked for him to find out. It's sad, but I do have that is a positive for the Knicks that he did go into the bench these last 2 games, and we did find a few guys that can get us a few points. McBride and Burke, like I said, Achua has been pretty good for us. Outside of last game we got smacked. I expected there to be one game where we were going to get, especially away with the way that the Pacers play. But I do expect us to bounce back next game tomorrow at home. The OG injury is huge, like you said. That one hurt the most watching him get injured because he, like you said, is the glue. Once we got him, the team really took another level. I think we're like 28-4 with him on the court. So that doesn't, you can't lie, you can't make that up. Mitch being out is definitely hurting us as well because they got 2 bigs that crash after the boards and can score. So Mitch not being there and having Hartenstein doing all the work, that hurts us for sure. I know OG is going to be out this next game. He'll be back the following game. But like I said, all that being said, I'm still confident in my Knicks. The reason why I felt we should have won Game 3 away. We lost by 5 without OG, without Mitchell, and it took Brunson didn't have a good game either that game, and everyone else. DiVincenzo stepping up and all that stuff. I expect at home that everybody is back on point. Brunson's going to give you his 40s or 30 plus. I won't go 40s, but I'll go 30 plus. Josh Hart, he got a little bit of rest yesterday because we got smacked, so he got to get some rest for the fucking first time. Thank you, Josh Hart, for being the fucking heart and soul of that goddamn team and doing everything, playing 48 minutes a goddamn night. Shout out to Josh Hart. I expected him to have a bad game, so you're okay. You're good with us. You are good with us, Josh. DiVincenzo, he's been huge for us. Without him, we wouldn't even be this far, honestly. And his years with the Warriors and Steph Curry, it's showing. It's showing. That experience is showing because you can see in that Game 3 that we was away, just the way he was playing, the way he was shooting, you can tell that he been in the gym with Steph. That boy been in the gym with Steph, and he learned a thing or two. So he's going to be huge for us. Who else am I? Hartenstein. Hartenstein can only do so goddamn much as the only big on the goddamn court. He can only do so much. That's why Mitch is huge. Missing Randall right now is definitely having an impact. Even though I'm not the biggest Randall fan, his presence would have been lovely right now because of the injuries that we have. But I think we're gonna bounce back. We don't lose at home too much. We just don't. With New York in the building, the energy that we have out there, we gonna get one back. We're gonna get it back. Game 6 goes back to Indy. That one's a toss-up. We get OG back. but I don't know how good he's going to be. I hope Randall. If we get OG and Mitchell back, we got it. We taking it in 6, and
You ain't
that's
getting
that.
Mitchell
We
back.
going to the
He out.
EFC.
You ain't getting Mitchell back. He out for 6 to 8 weeks, ain't
That's how long they said he was out.
he? Yeah, he just had surgery.
Oh my God, I didn't even know about that. I thought he was just resting.
No, they said he was going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh my
Or the
God.
surgery. He just had the surgery. So yeah.
Well, there you go. that that hurts. That hurts us big
hmm
time.
hmm hmm
But well, Precious Achua, you need to step up big time. You can't fill Mitchell's shoes, but you got size, and you're gonna have to step up, my boy. At least to get us through this series. If you can get us to the ECF, I'm good. I'm good. Even if we lose to Boston, we get smacked by Boston. I'm good as long as we get there. Just do us that favor. We want to be in the building. We just want to be in the conversation. It's been a long time since the Knicks have been there. Very long time. So if we can do that, and like you said, this off season, we're gonna make a splash. Yeah, we'll be back next year. We'll be back.
No,
We'll be
yeah.
back.
You go huge with like a Kevin Durant, Paul George type. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You can go get
Yep.
like maybe a Mikal Bridges or something
Huge.
like that. There's a lot of dudes I think is going to get traded this summer, and a lot of dudes that are free agents. Maybe go get a Tobias Harris. He's a free agent.
Yep.
Like it's a lot. It's going to be a lot of moving pieces. Maybe a
For
PJ
sure.
Tucker. You know,
Oh, I
uh,
like that
with
too.
that vet minimum
Defense.
or something like that. It's
Yep.
gonna be a lot that you guys are gonna have a choice for because of the winning. You know.
Yep. I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Now, moving on to a game that is happening now as we speak. Dallas and OKC. Dallas leading the series 2-1. Thunder winning the first game, and then Dallas winning the last two. What are your thoughts on this series right now?
Pretty much, I think that we will see tonight. We will see what the Thunder's all about.
Mm-hmm.
They punched Dallas in the face, and then Dallas punched them back in the face.
Yep.
So right now, the Thunder's, they've been kind of hunky dory. It's been a great season for them. The number one seed, da da da. Like now they're in some adversity for the first time.
Yep.
Uh, Everybody's not singing their praises. Oh, they're a young team and they're winning. So
Yep.
right now we're gonna see what you about. I mean, you got game 4 on the road down 2-1 against the third, like the not the runner up to the runner up of the MVP, and probably if not the best closer, one of the best closers in the NBA,
Mm-hmm.
in Kyrie.
Yep.
So I think if I'm OKC, like this is game 7 for me.
Yep.
Like we go down 3-1, I think the series is essentially over. I think it's just a matter of time. So they better treat this as a game 7 in my head, because like if they don't, this might be a great season, but like finish, second round.
I agree. I agree. This is game 7 for OKC. Because if they go down 3-1, well, that's it. That is
hmm
it. I thought this was going to be a 7-game series. I thought it was going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Each team is going to go back and forth with it. But Dallas is taking a control of this series. Some of the inexperience is showing for OKC outside of Shea doing his normal 30, casual 30 that he does. But he's going to need all of those others to show up like they've been showing up all year. Jaden Williams, Chet, Dort, all those guys are going to have to step up every game because Dallas is legit. This is legit. This is one of the best Dallas teams I've seen in a long time because the things you said. Luka doing what he does. Then you got Kyrie, one of the best closers in NBA history. That boy just closes. We've seen him do it on every moment, a couple times this series. So, and a few from last series that we saw some of the craziest finishes that he had was like, man, how does he make that happen? Like, it don't make no sense. But if OKC wins this game, now they put themselves back in a good position because I believe they go back home after this game. So then they can not steal one, but take the series lead at home, go up 3-2, and then they give themselves a little bit of room for error at going away for Dallas. But if they lose this one, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yep.
Dallas,
Yep.
it smells blood. Luka smells blood. Those others, PJ Washington going crazy, Lively, Galford, they're all playing good basketball, and that's what Dallas needed. They need Luka to do what he does, but everyone else play their role, and that's what seems to be happening. So, good luck to Dallas going forward. Good luck to OKC, and if OKC loses, nobody going to be upset at them. Nobody expected them to be this good. They're ahead of the schedule, so they're ahead of the schedule. So I'm okay if they lose this series, and if they get gentleman sweep. You had a great season, but now you got your experience, and now next season we see what you really can do. You know.
Yep.
Now let's get into the last series that is happening. Very interesting. Timberwolves versus the defending champs, the Nuggets. Series tied 2-2. Wolves winning the first 2 games away on the road against the champs, the Nuggets, and then the Nuggets winning the last 2 on the road on the Wolves' home court. What are your thoughts about this series going forward, Trav?
Well, like I said, we already kind of discussed it already, earlier about it. Like I said, I think Denver's put themselves back in the driver's seat of the series. And like I said before, I think Denver wins at home game 5, I would be shocked if Minnesota came and won again in Denver. I think Denver wins at home game 5, and then after that, you know what I'm saying? I think this is my opinion, I think they close it out in 6. But let's just say Minnesota figures out a way to win at home, and then Denver finishes in 7. I just think that, like, when you have a champion on the ropes like they had him, and you don't knock him out, and and then he gets his bearings, and then all of a sudden, he gets a good hit, boom. And to be honest, like the game 3 and 4 wasn't even really that close.
Yeah,
Denver won. They won almost by double digits both games. So the first one wasn't even close at all, and then the third, game 4, they won by like 7, 8, and I never felt that Minnesota was actually going to win the game.
Yep.
So yeah, like I said, I think Denver smelled blood now, because you didn't knock him out. Because if they would have won game 3, would have knocked them out. But but now they didn't. Denver flipped the series. I think Denver wins game 5, and game 6. But even if Minnesota wins game 6, I think Denver beats them by like 10, 15 in game 7. I just think that, like, Denver's kind of, all right, let's get serious.
Yeah, right. No, you're absolutely right. Timberwolves had him down, and they let him get back up. That's like that Tyson Fury fight. Knocked him down, and he was out. Looked like he was done, and that motherfucker got up. And once he got up, it was over. So that's a great point. I had Timberwolves in 7, but now that you just said that makes a great point. Once you give a champion a second shot, you might have just fucked up. You might have just fucked up. So
yeah.
I'm gonna stick with what I had. Timberwolves in 7, but I will say this: if the Nuggets win game 5, which I think they will,
yes,
at home, which I'm hoping they don't. I'm hoping the Wolves steal this one. because that's my only hope, is that the Wolves
Right.
steal game 5, Nuggets will steal game 6, and then Wolves steal game 7 at home somehow. I don't know how, but somehow. But the more and more I say it, I don't even fucking believe it. I don't even believe it the more I say it.
Look, if they could beat Denver 4 times in 7 games at Denver,
Yeah,
then
that's
they deserve it.
they deserve it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So
yeah.
that's my prediction. I don't think it'll be right, but I'm just holding out hope because I'm just tired of the Nuggets. So and you promised us Laker fans, or you promised us LeBron fans, that you were gonna get them for us. You told us that,
Hey,
Ant. You said I'm gonna get
look,
them.
I thought, look, when dude hits 2, I ain't never seen this ever. He hit 2 buzzer beaters in the same series in 5 games. Like it was like when even Mike Jordan ain't never done 2 buzzer beaters in 5 games. Sheesh. Like I was like, what? I mean, LeBron misses a buzzer beater and then he hits a buzzer beater, and then he hits another buzzer beater. They were up every game, all 5 games, up 21 games. So yeah, look, I think the Lakers could have got him, but they just, it wasn't their, it wasn't their time.
It definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't, and it's just depressing. It's just depressing.
Agreed. I'm just so curious to see what they're gonna do this summer, but that's a whole nother story. We'll get into that later.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna get into that because there's definitely some news that we'll talk about that, but we'll get into that to next week once we hear more information about that. But now we are at the close of this episode, so you know what that means. In the paint. All right, 60 seconds to get off your chest whatever you want. Go ahead, 60 seconds is yours, Trav.
Well, I think well, I think I talked about it earlier. I think it's a changing of the guard of the NBA. Like think about the guys who's not in the playoffs anymore. Kevin Durant, Giannis, Steph Curry, Dame Lillard. Like it's a changing of the guard of the NBA, and these people better get used to these names. Anthony Edwards, they better get used to, especially Anthony Edwards. They better get used to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Sure. They better get used. I mean, they probably already used to Jason Tatum, but you know what I'm saying? Like these young dudes, their teams are just better, and unless these old guys start teaming up for one more ride,
it's possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe Kevin Durant going to the Lakers or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously you don't know. I just think that like the future is here now. So
yep.
Like it's no more waiting. It's no more like, oh, one more year LeBron in the sunset. I don't see it. Like I think they're hanging on like Shaq and Kobe did at the end of their careers to try to figure out how to be relevant.
Yep.
And it's a young man's league. So now the young men, they the winners now.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I agree with that. It's the turning of the guard. Edwards is leading the charge. And hey, it's either you jump on board or you get the fuck out the way because they're coming through either way.
I don't want to add Brunson. I want to add Brunson at because he's there too. He's there too. So I want to add Brunson.
You see it. You see it.
Gotta add Brunson. That boy is a monster. So gotta give him his props. He's a monster.
Piggyback right off of where you left off. New York, baby. We bouncing back game 5, y'all. We good. We ain't worried about those last 2 games. We got smacked. It is what it is. We tired. But we let that happen on the road. We're gonna come back tomorrow and we lighten New York the fuck up. We lighten it up. They smacked us. We smacking them next game. That's what is about to happen. You remember, you heard it from me first. Your boy Jones. All right. Don't say I ain't tell y'all. We gonna bounce back. This series might go 7. I had Knicks in 6, but this might go 7.
I think it will go 7. If it was going 7, I think the Knicks the Knicks might, they just bandage and tape their bodies together and figure out a way to win this series of 7.
Absolutely. They definitely gonna need some tape after this series is over because they are broken
Yeah.
down. Broken the fuck down. But
Boston wants the Knicks to win because the Knicks are beat up.
absolutely. And they'll have
Boston doesn't.
another easy
They don't
series.
want to play Indiana. Yeah.
Oh no, they don't. They don't. It regardless, whoever you play in the EFC, we not rooting for you. All right, just whoever. If it's the Knicks or Pacers, I'm already a Knicks fan, but if the Pacers go, I'm gonna be a Pacers fan. God damn it, I'm gonna be a
Anybody but Boston. I agree. Anybody
anything
but
but
Boston.
I just came from Boston literally yesterday. My sister graduated from college out there. Congratulations to her and everybody out there. But fuck Boston, okay? Fuck Boston. But that is our show, everybody. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe, that like, y'all comment, y'all share, and y'all hopefully y'all all enjoyed the show. I am your boy Jones, my co-host Trav, 3P Podcast. Peace.
Peace.